The child walks funny around school, sort of with a limp, staying distant from all the children in the class and talking very little, especially staying far away from the teacher. Little does anyone know this child is suffering from childhood sexual abuse at home every single night. Although child sexual abuse is not widely known through the media, it is important to know how serious this issue is in every part of America that goes unknown. During my junior year of English, I did my research paper over child sexual abuse. I have read and studied a collection of books about child sexual abuse and have done research on the internet. Child sexual abuse robs boys and girls of their childhood, destroys sexual confidence, abolishes families, and strips joy in life. First, I will explain childhood sexual abuse. Second, I will discuss the short-term effects of child sexual abuse. Finally, I will discuss the long-term effects of childhood sexual abuse. Several accounts of child sexual abuse go unknown because toddlers remain unknown of such explicit behavior. The Children's Assessment Center, which is one of the largest child abuse advocacy center in the nation, in their 2016 article entitled Child Sexual Abuse Facts, defines sexual abuse as sexual activity between adults and minors or between two minors when one forces it on the other. This includes sexual touching and non-touching acts like exposure to pornography or solicitation of a child for prostitution. Child sexual abuse is any physical touching or sexual affiliation to an adolescent. The definition proves to be scary, but how often adolescent sexual abuse occurs while going unaware frightens society even more. Jane Long Weatherred, who is a quantitative social researcher in her second year as a doctoral student at the University of South Carolina, in her 2015 article entitled Child Sexual Abuse and the Media, a Literature Review, states, child sexual abuse is considered a public health problem in the United States. Although childhood sexual abuse does not often appear throughout the media and in conversations, it is a much bigger issue than what most people can fathom. All around the United States, childhood sexual abuse is a major issue. Furthermore, the statistics shown prove just how big of an issue it really is. According to Mary Polito and her colleagues, all of whom specialize in the prevention of cruelty to children, in their 2015 article entitled Knowledge Gains Following a Child Sexual Abuse Prevention Program Among Urban Students, a cluster randomized evaluation states, child sexual abuse is a public health problem of epidemic proportions worldwide. In the United States, approximately 1 in 10 children reports having experienced sexual victimization, and approximately 15% to 32% of women and 5% to 16% of men report being sexually abused as children. Polito and her colleagues reveal that people being abused as children proves to be a high rate. The acts stated in the given definition cause short-term effects to the victim. According to the Children's Assessment Center, when noticing a child with genital irritation, infections, or painful bowel movements, child sexual abuse may be happening. Noticing signs of pain in genital area must be treated and expected instantly. Not only does it physically affect the child, it also affects them mentally. As specified by the Children's Assessment Center, behavioral signs such as depression, anxiety, anger, substance abuse, bedwetting, and thoughts of suicide may also be signs of sexual abuse. Without realizing the behavioral signs of sexual abuse, it may be too late to have an impact on the victim's life. While some children act out in anger and violence, they also become silent and distant to anyone around them. According to the Mayo Clinic staff, a nonprofit organization committed to clinical practice, education, and research, in a 2015 article entitled Symptoms, a child who's abused may be scared of parents or adults because they may be sexually abused by their own parents. Children excluding themselves from school, friends, and classmates might be at risk of never opening up to someone throughout their lifetime because they prohibit themselves from communication with their peers. While the short-term effects of child sexual abuse ruins their childhood, it also dwells with the child for the rest of his or her life. According to the Mayo Clinic staff, a child who experiences headaches, seeks affection, or shows a loss of interest in school may be suffering from the long-term effects of sexual abuse. Children may show affection for their teachers or counselors in their school because they beg for some love and affection. In addition to the headaches, sexual abuse shatters families and the child's self-image. The Children's Assessment Center states, child sexual abuse is an issue that makes people extremely uncomfortable because it hurts to think about anyone harming children. However, unreported or untreated child sexual abuse not only scars children and destroys family, it also leaves offenders free to abuse and cripple future generations. Not reporting child sexual abuse because of discomfort only forces the child to suffer more pain and allows the abuser to keep abusing. Childhood sexual abuse can cause detrimental damage for life. Today, I first discussed about sexual abuse. Second, I discussed the short-term effects of victims involved in child sexual abuse. And finally, I discussed the long-term effects of victims involved in child sexual abuse. Child sexual abuse destroys confidence, abolishes families, and strips joy in life. Unless preventative measures are taken, this dangerous cycle of sexual abuse will continue to spin out of control.